right, folks, this is the 40K to 400K formula workshop where we help Shopify and ecom business owners grow themselves from 40K months to 400K months. You can do the maths on what that means for your year. And we do that by helping you build out your fast path plan. We do live audits here on the call, and we help some people put together their fast path plan because we know that a lot of Shopify ecom store owners have a billion things that they've been told to do by all the online people and all the workshops they've been to and all the YouTube channels and TikTok subscribers and all that kind of stuff. And they're super overwhelmed. And we give them the fast path plan, which is the things to focus on to actually grow their business. So whilst you're here live on the call, firstly, thank you for jumping on. We appreciate you. 3 things we'd like to see. We'd like to see you lock in. We're going to be here for about an hour. So obviously, the more you put in, the more you engage, the more you're present in this workshop. While we go through it, the more you're going to get from it. So we like you to lock in. We also love you to be seen. We like to see your lovely faces, unless you have some sort of camera issue or you're somewhere incognito where you don't want to be seen. We'd love to see you with your cameras on, but with yourselves muted. And we'll ask you to unmute as we have discussions with you as we go through the call. And with that, we'll also be live in the chat. So find the chat function here inside Zoom. We'll be active in there with our team, and we'll be asking you questions. That's the place to ask any questions and answer as we go through tonight's session. Few goals for tonight. The main one here is for you to understand how to convert more browsers into buyers, right? Because that's how you're going to make more sales on your Shopify store, is to take more of the people that arrive at the site and actually turn them into sales. That's a big focus for what we do in the e-commerce circle and at Insightful, is helping you convert better, because you can send the same amount of traffic, which means you pay the same amount of money for that traffic. If you can instead of converting at 1%, convert it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7%, you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x your business for the same cost. So it's a massive needle mover, and that's the reason why we focus on it so much on these calls and inside our communities. When you understand this principle, you'll also know how to dial in and nail your paid ads. And we will also help you put together a pathway to profit. As I said, this is our fast path plan. We will do this for some people live on the call tonight, where we break down the handful of things that you really need to focus on as an e-com owner, particularly in the early stages of the business, really at any stage. But it's all about turning that procrastination, that overwhelm, into tactical, tangible things that you can do right now to actually move your business forward. Big question we get on these calls is, will this stuff work for me? Right. And the short answer is yes. And this comes in sort of 3 flavors, right? Will it work for my niche, because I'm super, super specialized and nobody does what I do? Will it work at my size? I'm either starting or I'm doing $1 million a month. And will it work now? Is this stuff actually workable right now in 2025? And the short answer, as I said, is yes. Right. If you've got an e-com store, if you've got a Shopify store, the principles that we're going to teach you tonight will work for you in any niche. Doesn't matter whether you're in candles or electronics or medical or clothing. The principles will work for your type of business. They'll also work for your size, right? The same principles that we'll teach you work at 40K a month. They work at 400K a month. They work at 4 million a month. Just obviously at some different levels, but because we teach principles can get applied at scale. And everything we teach is working right now. These aren't old hat things that used to work back when 2017 for a drop shipping company. This is stuff that works right now. All of our coaches, all of our experts, all of our team are live inside of e-commerce businesses every single day. So the stuff we are going to show you how to do is working right now. Who this is for? This is for you if you've got a Shopify store. This is for you if you are passionate about your business, right? You've probably created a product, or you're importing a product, or you're trying to put something into the market that you want to actually have an impact. You believe in the product, you know it's good, and you know that it would genuinely help people if you could just get it into more hands, right? You know that with the right moves, you could really make this business work. That passionate type of owner, we're here for you. We're also here for you if you are overwhelmed. As I said up front, right, there's so many things you could be doing in your business, and the more gurus you watch and the more TikToks and YouTube channels and videos and content you consume, the more stressed and overwhelmed you get because you don't know which of the 4,000 things are actually going to move your business forward. We're going to unoverwhelm you here on the call tonight and help you focus on the actual real needle movers in your business. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, this call is for you. And obviously, if you want to make money, this call is for you as well. We like to meet Shopify e-commerce owners that actually want to make some money. They don't just want to be collection agents for the ATO, as important as it is to look after those guys. We love you, ATO. We don't really. But you're running a business to make money and you want to keep more of that money. So one of our chief aims here is to help you actually make more money and keep more of the money so you're actually profitable in what you're doing. So why should you listen to us? Why are you on this call? Why should you take anything that I've said for granted? Why we operate in a way where we teach what we do, right? We don't just teach theory, we teach principles. We teach stuff that's guided by actual expertise and practice. Mr. Paul Warren built Warcom, which
sold lots of modems to Daniel.
Daniel can attest to way back in the day. Sorry, what was that?
Sold lots of modems to Daniel, who's on the call. So he can attest there was a real business. He bought from me for like 10 years.
So built that business in the tech space, probably one of the first e-com stores in Australia, and he grew that business to sell over 40 mil worth of product and eventually sold it out to an ASX listed company. In that process, learnt and did everything possible inside of e-commerce, and in that process also built out the Insightful marketing agency, essentially to help himself with the marketing needs of his e-com business. Insightful now builds 100 plus Shopify stores a year. So if it's happened in e-com, if it's going to happen in e-com, if it's around the corner for you based on where you're at, we've been there, Paul's been there, our team's been there, right? We're active in businesses today. We're active inside of Shopify stores. We're actively working in e-com Meta accounts, Google accounts, email accounts in Klaviyo, right? So if it's going to happen, if it's somewhere in your future, we've been there, we've solved it. Our team have been through it there. So we know how to help you and how to guide you around because we know what's coming for you because we've had that experience. And even though all of this happened a long time ago, right, because as I said, we teach principle-based tactical things, principles are lasting, right? So the stuff that worked 20 years ago and worked 10 years ago and worked 5 years ago are going to work in the next 5, 10, 20 years, right? Because we're applying principles. These are things that are time-tested, battle-tested, time-hardened, and that's what we teach. We don't teach fads. We don't teach trends. Obviously, we adapt, but we base our teachings on principles. And when we apply these principles inside of e-commerce businesses, people get amazing results like this. We have clients that hit their first 6-figure months. They pull in 100K for a month. They might do their first 100K year. They might do their first $1 million year. They might do their first $1 million month, their first $1 million week, right? We have all gamuts, all ranges of clients. But when we apply these principles, e-com businesses grow. An example of that is Sam. Sam came to us, he was doing 40, 50K a month. They do golf simulators. So at-home golf simulators, set it up in your garage. Incredible product range, good business, great face-to-face, but needed to really reinvent what they were doing online. So again, we've applied some basic principles, built a new high-converting website, worked on some of his messaging, helped him improve ROAS with some ad creatives. And 4 or 5 months later, they 150x grew their business with record month-on-month growth, and they're now pushing $500,000 months. So 100x, 1000x growth. So pretty incredible growth in a very short period as well. So we do have what we call our unhidden agenda. Obviously, this is a free workshop. We run these inside of our group to meet wonderful new business owners like yourselves, right? And we run these so we can find our next client success stories. We want you to be our next success story. I want to put you in my Canvas slide deck and have you showing your 200x growth in the next 39 days. Right? I'd love to make you our next case study. And as I said, we are teach and do guys. We teach what we do what we teach. And our mission on these calls and in life in general is to help people. So our promise for this workshop is that it's going to be incredibly valuable, even if we never see you again, right? If we don't see you ever again, this is the only time we ever get to meet you. You'll walk away from this workshop with some tactical, tangible things you can apply in your business tomorrow and move your business forward. But obviously, we do have a lot of time constraints. And as much as we'd love to work with every single one of you one-to-one on the call tonight, we obviously are restrained by time. So if you are interested in some more assistance and you'd like to work with us longer to achieve your goals faster and get more of that personal assistance, would it be okay with you if we were to share that offer with you a bit later on? Can I get a raise of hands? Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a thumbs up in the chat? If that's okay, if we drop a way for you to work with us a bit closer later in the call. Got some thumbs up, got some wavy hands. Fantastic. Next, very difficult question for everyone on the call. We'd love to know where you're at in your journey. Pretty much everyone we meet is one of these four places, right? They're at startup, you're either at zero, you haven't started yet, or you're in startup phase where you're just getting going, feeling things out. You're in setup where you're starting to get a bit more familiar with how the business runs, just doing maybe 10, 25K a month, or you're in grow up, right? You're starting to get things moving. You're in 25 to 50K months. You've got some ads running, things are starting to move, or you're in that scale up phase where you kind of got a lot of things dialed in, but you know some things could be done better and you're cracking, 100K, 200K months. So we've got some startups. We've got probably some startups and setups, I would imagine. Maybe someone here's secretly doing scale up. Maybe someone here's doing 200K a month and just come to hang out. Yep, some startups, setups, fantastic. So Paul and Delane came to us when they were in kind of setup phase. They were doing 25, 30K a month, running the amazing Nature's Pantry supplies. They do Australia's cleanest collagen and protein. Amazing couple, super fit. And part of how they stay fit is their amazing clean collagen and WPIs. So they came to us, sort of 25, 10, 25, 30K a month. Since then, at least when I created this slide, they were up 115% on the previous year. They're probably up about 200% now. They're doing, 70, 80K months at the moment?
95,300 in the
95,000.
last 30 days compared to 10 or 15 when they start. There's a screenshot, just in case you're wondering. That's good.
Yeah.
I like looking and be like, that's good. Going good. Any wonder they keep buying more. They're always out riding their motorbikes. It's good. Living the dream.
The number goes up every week. Yeah. So when they started, they were both like, only Paul was working in the business, Delane was doing other stuff. Now they're both full-time working in the business because obviously it can support them now. And again, we changed a few things. We didn't try to change everything and manhandle everything in their business. We focused on some key principle stuff that actually really moved the needle for them. So how do we get these results for our clients, right? Is building these businesses, is it luck, do you think? Is it some kind of wizardry, some kind of magic? Is it a system? What do you reckon? Drop us in the chat. How do you reckon we're doing this for our clients? Is it a bit of systematic luck, maybe? A bit of luck and magic? Just more Red Bulls and energy drinks. That's the way. 100% magic. That's it. Voodoo. A little bit of voodoo. You do the voodoo that you do. I'll put everyone out of there. Also resolve the tension. It is a system, Ange. Well done. Well done, Justin. You've been on 75 of these things, so I'm sure you know the answers by now. But well done, Ange. Yes, it is a system, and it is the system that we call the More Orders model, which looks something exactly like what's on your screen at the moment. It's a three-pronged triangle, and these three things are the three things that we find broken, needing more work, needing optimization with every single person that we meet, whether they're doing $4,000 a month, 40 grand a month, or 400 grand a month. Guesses in the chats. What do you think these question marks represent? These are the three things that are always broken. These are also the three biggest needle movers in any e-commerce. They all start with S. I'm just going to mute you there, Nick.
Yeah, I got the random groaning coming through the sound.
Is that excited about the system? So these all start with S. What do we think these might be? Guesses.
I don't know if Chris explained this properly. So there's three sides to this, and there's three different S's, right, to each side of this. All right. So all three parts form our system, but they all have a different name. So anyone who can guess what they are, you win something. I don't know what it is yet. I'll figure that out in a minute.
Caramello koala.
Yep, Tegan's saying that's good.
Now, Tegan, you're your old hat. You know this by now.
Yeah.
I'm back, by the way.
If you can get every time, whoever guesses like one, if you guess one of them right, you can get my conversion rate optimization course. Whoever gets another one right gets Chris's brand course. Thank
SEO
you.
something something.
Anyone good at Hangman? So they all start with S. Two of them end with E.
Sales, not a bad guess, Ange.
Nah.
All right. For time, I'm gonna call it. No one gets a caramello
Chris is
koala
giving
tonight.
wait, hang on. Chris Falado's given the whole strategy.
No idea.
All right, Daniel gets one.
There we go.
Hey, you
Store
figured
gets
it out.
Tegan can have a prize anyway. Get the last one.
Yeah, it is your store, your strategy, as was very subtly hinted at, and your store, right? Your store, your story, your strategy. Your store is all about having a high converting website. This is how you convert more browsers into buyers, right? This is the biggest lever you can pull in your business. If you don't have a website that's built for conversion, there's not really much point doing anything else until you fix it. No point sending traffic, no point building SEO, no point getting backlinks, no point getting media appearances or running podcasts. Fix your store and then worry about other things. And the next big thing you should really be worrying about is your store. This is how you connect with your customer, right? This is how you personalize your messaging. This is how you show someone that your brand is not just a product. It's a brand that's built for them. It's made for them. It's there to support them. You understand their deepest desires. You understand their needs. You understand what keeps them up at night, and you have the solution for them. This is how you prepare and write compelling brand messaging across your website, across your socials, across all of your videos, across all of your email campaigns, right? If you can't connect and communicate with your audience in a way that feels special to them, they'll go find someone else that can. Right. Once you've got those two things, you need to then have some sort of a strategy. This is what gives you control over your business. Right. This is your business model. This is your scalability. This is your step by step what to do, when to do it, and in what order to do it. Right. So the order is also very, very important. What to focus on, what not to focus on, when to do it, and in what order to do things. So this is your digital strategy, your marketing strategy, right? Your client acquisition strategy, your financial strategy. All these sorts of things give you the control to have a much less chaotic business. So your store, your story, your strategy. How you get those done is what we call our fast path plan. And we're going to map this out for Daniel, I believe, or somebody here on this call. This is how you take all of the overwhelm and all the stress and all the 4,000 things that you possibly could do, and you go, right, I'm going to focus on the 2 or 3 things that are actually going to move the needle for me. So you're either going to be fixing something that's broken, building something that doesn't exist that you need to have, growing stuff that's already working for you, or making some big moves. Maybe you go get a factory, you get a new manufacturer, bring in a new product, target a new audience. But start at the bottom, right? Fix the stuff that's critical that doesn't exist or is broken, and build the stuff that you need to build these fundamental parts of your business. So with that in mind, I'll hand over to Paul, and you can run this.
Let's go, Daniel. Me and you, mate.
Wonderful.
Turn off mute and we'll have a chat for a second. So this is also a good opportunity for you to pitch the business. So tell us when you started it, why you started it, what problem you're trying to solve, and who you sold to.
So it's as I mentioned, it's startup. I probably launched it, did a soft kind of hard launch in April. Problem I wanted to solve is obviously track my own personal vehicles for GPS tracking. Sorry, I missed that part. And the point of
That's on the Lambo, or
say again, sorry.
that's on the Lambo or the Rolls. Which one are you tracking?
My Big Daddy actually, and
You Big Daddy. That's good. Got to check that. Yeah.
Yeah, so and yeah, obviously track my own personal vehicles. Just given the fact that the crime rate theft is just going through the roof.
Yeah.
And the point of difference that I got with what everyone else is doing is everyone's it's a very flooded market, and there's a lot of people using Chinese products, and the back-end website is Chinese hosted, etc. So it's not reliable. The point of difference is I use a European global manufacturer, global leader in the industry for a device, and I host my own software backend, my own app development that I deploy all under my name. So one of the, as I said, issues have been is people have got tracking going to website, all of a sudden the website's gone. So they're stuck with a tracker that doesn't work. So
Got
that's the
it.
problem
Okay.
I'm trying to solve.
Right. All right. So let's bring up the site. Give me 2 seconds and I'll share screen, move this over here. So let me know when you can see my screen. All right. So
Yep.
I don't think it says any of that right as soon as you land on the website. So for example, when we talk about the story and then we start talking about the strategy and so forth, here's what you're working with. All right, at least on a desktop, it's hard to do this on a mobile, so I'm going to do it on desktop. But what you're trying to get people to do is like read this sentence, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of sentences down here as well. But as they go through all of them, and there's like, call it 5 sentences for lack of a better term, you want everyone to read it and they go, yes, 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 right? So in their head, they're reading something and they're going, yes, that's for me. Yes, that's for me. Yes, that's for me. So that you're qualifying them as a customer, so that you're persuading them to get them ready to buy. So as an example, protect your pride and joy from theft. That's good. From an SEO perspective, though, there's a few things missing from that. No one's ever going to search for that phrase ever in Google because there's no search volume for it. But it's not really very compelling, right? It's the same with this one as well. Real-time GPS tracking for I mean, it tells you what it does, keep your investment safe, but it's still missing something. And it sounds like, every other vehicle tracking thing on the market, I imagine, right? So talk to me a bit about like, is your product likely to even stop a car being stolen before they even get the opportunity to steal it? So is that, you reckon that's a thing?
It's not an immobilizer per se. It's more so for theft recovery or capturing it as it happens, because the urgent push notifications that will come through. If, for example, you got a caravan, it seems that I'm getting a lot more sales with caravans.
Okay.
So, and one of the things with that is, if it's a caravan, if someone's going to steal a caravan, the first thing they do is they're going to cut the power on the caravan. As soon as that happens, they'll get a notification. So it's potentially, again, like not an immobilizer, but an early warning potentially / theft recovery.
Got it. Okay. So for example, this sentence here, the H2, and we'll jam on it for a little bit, but is it live?
Yes.
So it says real time. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So as soon as the vehicle moves, like it's the actual device is always connected to the back-end server. And while it's moving, it will send periodic updates depending on speed, travel, angle, etc. So updates as quick as 5 seconds in some scenarios.
Got it. I mean, so you're covering instant alerts here. You've got real-time tracking there. You've got, what else have we got here? You've got, there's no blind spots, keep your investment safe. So you're covering a lot of the things in here. So it's sounding okay. I feel like it's just missing something. And I definitely think with this particular sentence here,
Yep.
I reckon it needs to be something, just thinking, like, which angle do we go here? Because like for me, it's not compelling. Protect your pride and joy from theft. Like that's a no-brainer, right? I don't go, yes, but if you go something more along the lines of, the tracker that thieves hate, people go, oh, okay, that sounds a bit more interesting, a bit more, or when alarms fail, we don't, or, what's some other concepts I've coming up with here? Because you've got all the like buzzwords and so forth, but like even, stop theft before it starts. People go, shit, that sounds good. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that's the angle that we're really trying. So this is the story stuff that we're talking about, right? We're not onto the store yet. This is the story. So for me, I've got my 2 cars sitting in the driveway. They're worth whatever they're worth. And I'm like, protect it. I don't go to bed at night going, I hope I can protect my pride and joy. But I do get more excited going, protect it before it even starts. Stop theft before they even get start. Yeah, great. So let's assume that's warmer. And I go, great. That's your H1 tick. You go, I'm headed in the right direction there.
Yeah.
All right. Because all this stuff is said everywhere else.
Yeah.
Then this is good, but it's just kind of very like, it's very search volume keyword based, like heavy, it's
Yeah.
still not agitating my pain. So again, like hear me out on this. And I will say where I live now in Romsey, it feels like every fifth house has a caravan because they've all got huge properties, huge, beautiful houses, but they almost go away a lot. So, so something more along the lines of leading with, while you sleep, you travel, or you work, our real-time tracking, make sure your vehicle stays exactly where you left it.
Yeah.
For me, I read that and I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's what I want. I want my $150,000 caravan that's sitting next to the side of my house. I want to go home and it's still there, right? Because then all of this other stuff can go somewhere else. So, and I'll give you these. I'll send them to you later. But I think those two, like, it's a bit more compelling than what we've got at the moment. Then the next thing that's really missing down in this section here would be things along the lines. So I call these trust statements. So they're short little images, or they're short little statements that people read. And again, they go, yep. And this stuff applies for everybody on the call, right? So for example, like Olivia, like hers would say something like, if you get the dress and for some reason it's not a perfect fit, we'll fix it for you. But for you, or she's like, she speaks about the quality of the silk in the products that she sells, right? But for you, things more along the lines of, like eyes on your vehicle, anytime, anywhere, no excuses, or silent, smart, always watching, just like a good security system should be. So they're little statements, but people reading them and go, yeah, great. Know the moment your vehicle moves and shut the story before it even starts. So they're all like, so it's not an immobilizer though. So I probably couldn't do that based on what you said.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
But there's certain key events that can happen from that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, but all we're trying to do here is like get a statement here, here, and here. And then we go, great. I've got like 5 yeses so far. Now I'm ready to continue scrolling, because most people will land on a website like this and they'll be like, cool, photo of a Porsche. Well, I don't have one of them. I've got a Isuzu D-Max. So maybe this isn't for me anyway, So in the future, this should probably be a video of some sort showing lots of different cars, safe and secure in your driveway. So it could have anything from a bloody you're not going to go to Bugatti level, because I imagine your market is like a $30,000 car all the way up to what, 200, 300 grand or something. So in amongst that realm, you'd be like, that, for example. Now, again, as we scroll down here, I'm going to clear my drawer. I'm going to keep, so, why you need to protect your vehicle now. So these are blogs. These are kind of in the wrong spot. So what's missing here is down in this section, you should have a unique positioning statement about the brand again, right? That supports that. So I'll make one for you now.
That'd probably be around like the Aussie made, Aussie backed, that security and confidence that it's made where you're at. Real-time support, faster support, find it.
Yeah,
it's not made in Australia though, is it? It's just the logistics are operated in Australia.
What was the question again, sorry, Paul?
So it's not made in Australia, is it? But the logistics are.
The product that I sell, the actual device, is a European-made device. But everything that talks to is all my servers that I host, all in Australia.
Okay. All right. Cool. So this again, I want to put some context around this. When we do this properly, it doesn't take us 2 minutes. It takes us like 5 hours, right, to really nail it. But I'm just trying to illustrate the point for everyone who watches this later. So you would have something that now sits here and says something like this, right? So this is your unique selling proposition, Core GPS, proudly Australian managed and supported, delivering precision GPS with tracking, locally backed service you can trust. We combine premium European-made hardware with real-time monitoring and instant alerts, so you always know where your vehicle is and who's behind your protection. So people go, sounds good. Aussie company, European products, done. So they see that, they see all the other stuff on the site, and like, good, I'm ready to go now. Now, and why this is so important as well is because when the time comes for you to start running ads, you want to be saying the same stuff that you do here on your website, in your ads, in your emails, on vehicle signage, in meta ads, in a content that is generated by an influencer. Because the most important thing that happens in marketing is that when someone sees, and I'm going to draw on the screen again, they see a message in the market. So whatever the message in the market is, like, hey, welcome to Core GPS. This is what we do. Once they click that ad and they land on the website, they need to see it again on your website, right? Where most brands go wrong is there's a different message between this and this, or more often or not, the message is broken in both locations. And this is why your site doesn't convert, right?
Yep.
Really, really, really important. Now, so there's a few things there from a brand messaging perspective, and let's have a look at some conversion rate optimization things now. Like, so keeping in mind, obviously we got the triangle, we've spoken about the story. Now we're going to talk about the store a little bit. So things that are missing from this homepage for me, there's no phone number anywhere to be seen on the site at the moment. That's probably pretty important. How many of these products have you sold so far, and how many reviews do you have?
So since April, there's probably been about 15 sales.
Okay, right. So it's pretty new. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many reviews do you have?
I haven't had any reviews at this point.
Okay. All right. That would be important though. But so what you've done, you've gone straight into like blogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would try as hard as you can. Go and get like 3 or 4 blogs, or 3 or 4 statements from customers who've got it. Just ask them, hey, what do you think about the product? Oh, it's great. Like, no one stole my car, blah, blah, blah. They need to go here. 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
Because normally we would have a line that goes across here and to say like, hey, the brand's got like 6,000 5-star reviews. That's why you should buy from us. But you don't have that. So make them up with real reviews from people, and you can just put them on the page here. Really important that they see that. Now, I'm going to do what am I going to do next? I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to show you who's the good example to compare for your brand. Chris V, what's that oil company that we just launched for? Kevin, what's his website?
XS Nano.
Yes,
XS
that's
Nano?
the one.
Is that it?
XS. Yeah, that's the one.
This guy. All right, cool. Shout out Kevin. Lovely
Great
dude.
product.
Sorry, I forgot your website, Kevin. I want to show you a side-by-side comparison to show you the things that you're missing. For example, you can see all the stuff that his oil works with, right? So he's an old dude, has invented this cool product that gets you better for your engine, you get more economy out of your diesel, like a genius product. If we go through his website and you see stuff that's missing here, so obviously this stuff is missing, right? Reviews, Here's his H1, you've got that, so that's that, and we'll change that. Here's your H2, improves your economy, extends engine life, lowers emissions, probably a bit short, could be better than that, longer. But that's your H2. Come down here. Here is another statement there. Here is another statement there. Here is the boxes that I'm talking about that you should have. So again, as you start reading Kev's site, you go improves the fuel economy by up to 28%. All blokes are going to go, geez Christ, fuel's expensive. It's crap at the moment. Like, I'm going to buy his product. It's fantastic. Yeah. It extends the life of the engine. No one's going to go, no, I don't want that. Most people probably don't care about reduced emissions, but it increases your power and increases your performance. Again, everyone goes, great. So they've gone tick, 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 right? Now go, just show me the product yet. Right, I'm ready to buy something now. So that's the story component. Now, come into here. So here's your product. Again, like everything looks beautiful. It tells you what it does, but I want to show you something else that's missing. So even stuff like this should be on your homepage. So at some point, hopefully we can rebuild your website for you, or you can buy our high converting kit that I'm going to pitch you at the end of the event. But you need stuff like this on your homepage, So globally trusted products, Australian owned business. People go, sounds good. Not like crap made in China that you can probably find on Temu. No one wants to buy that. So come down here and here's your reviews. So you got Peter S said this. Calvin didn't say much. Great, A+. But all these people said that they've said, and you go, great, more ticks, tick, 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 tick. See how we're just going through every part of the website and it's tick and it's tick and it's tick. Here's another testimonial. Here's a case study on the homepage. So whilst you don't have many customers as well, you can use words to tell a story about the product. So we'll be like, whoever the dude is on his $2 million tractor, like this is what the product did. Read that. Come down here, more words again. And frequently asked questions is covering off things like all the questions people have in their head. So again, as they read it, they go, oh, is it expensive? And they go, oh, there's an answer to that. What proof is there? It's so good. Here's the proof. Can I trust it? Here's why I can trust it. Blah, 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 blah. So all these words, all this story makes your site convert better. And then lastly, Kev here sitting there with his like Rolex Daytona watch. So clearly he's got some money. I think that's a Daytona. Can't tell, whatever that is. Any watch guys on the call? Looks like a Daytona or a Sea Dweller or something. But here's Kevin, 30 years he's been doing it, knows a lot about oil. Read the story, you go, yeah, great. Here's some blogs from Kevin. You're like, I'm ready to go, right? So again, why I'm just banging on this is because brands like yours that are not big multinational companies, you've got to get deep and got to go like, hey, it's me, Danny. This is why I'm doing it. This is why you should buy from me. And here's all the reasons, right? So nail your story. Now, conversion elements on this website. Let's do a side-by-side comparison again. So I'm mindful that you're not using Shopify at the moment. So by next week, you will be. So we'll be able to fix all these things for you. Let's go to your product page though. So buy now, big blue button. Let's go to his product page. We'll go and grab one. We'll get this thing for $255. So let's do the side-by-side comparison. You've got breadcrumbs. You've got photo of the product. Probably be better if you had photo of the vehicle and images of where the product is on the vehicle. Then we have a search function there. But here's the product name. Check your vehicle. So that's what we call a short description. It's probably just, there's a lot of text here and you've gone into all the text way too quickly, right?
Yeah.
So, which is kind of counterintuitive to what I said on the previous thing, because when it comes to building a product page, there's a few things that you need to consider. One, there's a certain button on the product page that needs to be very prominent and very easy to see above everything else. What button do you reckon that is that you can't see on your site?
Buy.
The buy button. Yes. So they have the cart button. Like on Kev's site, you go, oh, it's the big green thing, or it's the PayPal thing, or it's ShopPay. Right. So it's not that you've done a bad job. It's just we need to reorganize things. So, and I'll go through. So things like this, 2 people looking at the product, you go, great. You should put that on here. Then we've got 4 people purchased the product in the last 24 hours. Great. We should put that on here. Then you've got a short description. You kind of got a short description, but it doesn't say much. Then you've got these things here are called meta field benefits. Yours are just kind of, there's way too much space, right? And again, they're too long and that's not what people want to see. And I won't keep going because there's about another 50 things that are missing from this homepage that are going to stop people buying from you, such as shipping information, warranty information, heaps of other things. Yeah. The point I'm trying to get to is that at the moment, this page would probably convert at 1% something, right? Whereas if you simply reorganize stuff into the right location and you put the right words in the right spot and they flowed right, you could probably get this thing converting at 3, 4, 5, 6%. Now, you're only going to do that if you nail your brand messaging throughout the homepage and through your product page and through your collection page and through your ads. And if you actually have a website that is built to convert. And when I say built to convert, like I said, there's about 50 to 60 things that should be on a product page. There's another 50 or 60 things that should be on a collection page, like this one, for example. I'll go down here. Where is it? I'll find it. In the collection. So this is the collection page in Shopify for those that haven't seen it before. Then there's the home page. Then there's the cart page, right? So this is the cart page. So short version, if you don't have those 300, 400 things that should be on all of those pages, your site never going to convert as good as it can. Why this becomes such a big issue over time is because, like, let's talk in the future and when you're spending, like $100 a day on ads and costing you $3,000 a month. You go, yeah, great. Spend $100 and I make one sale a day and that gives me $500. So I spend $100 to get a $500 sale, which you go, that's not too bad, right? And let's assume your conversion rate is 1%. If your conversion rate had been like, call it like 2%, that would have been $1,000. It was 3%, would have been 15. It was 4%, would have been $2,000. If it's 8, you can see where I'm going with this. So you're still spending your $3,000 a month, but instead of getting whatever the mass is on that back, I call it like 10 or something, you're getting back like 20, 30, 40, 50K. So incredibly important that you nail this properly. Because for that reason. Second reason is that, in my opinion, you only get one shot to get a lot of customers into your business, right? So even whilst you're new, like they'll see your brand now and they'll see your brand 6 months from now. And I'm like, I've already been to that site. Didn't like what I heard on the site. I didn't convert back then. I'm not going back there. That's unfortunately how consumers shop. So again, when you're ready, most important thing, fix those two things.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, certainly.
Any questions about either of them at the moment? And anyone, I'll go to you, and then what I'm going to do is actually map out how you fix this stuff too. So I'll put it onto a plan for you. But any questions before I do that?
Yeah. I mean, look, one of the things, obviously, looking at, was it the collection page you called it on the other page?
Yeah.
There's multiple products, whereas with mine, there's only the one product.
Yeah.
So, the question I've always thought, is it better to have the multiple products of the same product, but one being caravan, one being bike, one being, just so people got the perception of options?
You can definitely have like a caravan GPS tracker collection and a boat and a whatever else, motorbike, and even if you've only got the one product in there, because in Google, people are going to be searching for like caravan GPS collection, tracker, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's more of a search engine optimization thing than a story or a strategy thing though. So, but yeah, definitely worth it. I mean, look, mate, at the end of the day, you don't need to have a collection page with one product business. All right. You can just have homepage, product page, but you absolutely have to nail like what happens like in your cart. All right.
Yes.
So I'll go here quickly and I'll give you an example. So here's one of our clients, right? They sell dog beds. But you go here and you start shopping around, and actually, you know what? I'll backtrack a little bit. So again, your dog's forever bed for ultimate comfort and support. Sounds great, doesn't it? Every pet owner goes, yeah, I want that for my dog, as opposed to like, Australia's leading dog bed. Like, who gives a shit? All right. So that sounds good. Then you come down here and you're like, oh yeah, trust indicators, more trust indicators. What they got, buddy? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 dozen of them. So you read all that, and you're like, yeah, this is really good. I want this from my dog, So by now you've gone tick, you've gone tick, you've gone tick, tick, tick. And then you go, the wheel of, ticks here. And then you go, I'm ready to buy. So now, assuming I was to do that, and let's go, I'm going to get a bed for my dog, and I'm going to add it to the cart. So you go, great, I'm in the cart now. Look at all the stuff that I can buy whilst I'm in the cart. Again, right? So this is another place that's on the site that is super important so that you can actually get more value out of your customer. So again, just coming back to you won't be able to do any of this with the platform that you're currently on, not to this level, right? So, but my point is, I guess it's another drop-off point where people will leave here if they, don't know what to do. Again, you go, oh yeah, I can pay by this, I can check out, I've got free shipping, I'm saving this much money, I can add that product to the cart. Cool. I go to the next page. I get greeted by the big, ugly purple shop pay button in Shopify, which every single person on the internet knows exists on the Shopify site. So given that you don't use Shopify, I'll go as far as saying 50% of your audience is going to bail immediately because they go, I ain't checking in and making an account, logging in and all that kind of crap. They're like, I'm out of there. Okay. So really, that's kind of one thing that I don't mention enough, but people are so trained on that purple button. If they can't find it, they're gone. Like other systems, like people will use BigCommerce, or they'll use WooCommerce, or they'll use Neato, or the other platforms. You might have heard some of them. And they're all like, our conversion rate's crap. I said, well, it's crap because your site's not built to convert. It doesn't have that button. Product pages aren't done right. Home pages aren't done right. And you have no brand story. So they go, what should I fix first? And they're like, get off that and get on the Shopify, and then fix your story, and then fix your strategy, right?
Yeah.
So let's do this little exercise for a bit. So if I can just turn that off for a second. Usually I do this on my tablet that I've got, but my son was using my tablet last night and I don't know where it is. Everyone, how wonderful, kids. So, Daddy, I want to watch Terminator for the 900th time. But now the thing's disappeared. We rotate between Blippi and Terminator and, oh, God. Anyway. All right. Let's have a look. So, where's the delete button on this thing? There you go. Clear. And I'm going to move it. Everyone can see this is the fast path plan.
Yep.
And watch how beautiful this is going to be. All right, so this is for Daniel. Put your initials on it. Take a screenshot later. First thing you got to fix is your brand story. All right, because you have one, it's just not as compelling as it should be.
Yep.
Right? And if you make your brand story way more compelling, you're going to sell more stuff. This is probably, I don't know whether we've spoken about like doing a full brand messaging thing with us, Olivia. I know we're building your beautiful website. So for example, like Daniel needs to fix his website. You know, you don't because it's beautiful, but you can still make your website convert better by doing the brand messaging stuff that I just explained to Daniel. So we can probably have a chat about that because it's so important, especially like you sell beautiful products, but you got to tell the story right. So, but Daniel, it's got to fix his brand messaging story, fix your website converts, then trying to think about what your next strategy would be because you're going to just get drowned in Google with searches. Like you can't be running Google ads for this brand. There's probably 4 million of you doing it. SEO is going to take you forever to try and rank, I think. So for you to get cut through, meta ads is going to be your way to go. And your whole strategy is going to be like, hey, it's Daniel here and I'm with Paul and we're in Rumsey and here's his caravan. It's worth 150 grand. And I'm going to tell you why our product is so different. I'm going to talk about how I'm from Australia. If Paul's caravan is about to get nicked, you know, he gets notified using the system that I've invented, blah, blah, blah. So I reckon meta ads is going to be the one to go for you and using really, really good user-generated content from your ideal client or from your client, right? And bringing you into the strategy. So meta ads with UGC. And I think these three things are the first three things that we got to fix for you because running meta ads is easy, but nailing what you say in your video content is going to be the number one thing you got to work on. And you know how you have a guess how you're going to nail what you put in your videos. What do you think you have to do?
Well, obviously nailed the brand story, right?
The brand story, exactly. Yes. And this is where people get this wrong, right? Like they'll join our community so some people join like our Connect program, right? And they go to the meta ads calls or they're in Shopify or they do other things and they're like, cool, got a website, got this. Or I want to start running meta ads. I'm like, hang on, hold on a bit. All right, hang on a second. Your website's not built to convert yet. And your brand message doesn't say the right thing. And they go, cool. I said, don't do anything with meta ads. Fix this. Go to the coaching calls, learn how to set up your ads, and then start using the brand messaging in your ads, then turn on your ads, right? And some of you probably seen the testimonial that was posted in the Shopify group yesterday or the day before, the older lady that's in our group. This is what she did. She's nailed this. She knows how to fix her site. She knows how to fix her messaging. She's running her ads. She's got the good stuff in the video. Happy day. She just had her first 10 grand month. You know, she keeps going. She'll have a 20 grand month, 30 grand, 40 month, but she won't know what to do with herself. But for you, this is exactly what you've got to fix. Make sense?
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. And as Justin said in the chat, Lockie on the earlier call today looked at one of the current ad that I've got running from Meta because I don't do Google ads. And like I said, SEO is going to be way too difficult to grow with quickly.
Well, don't get me wrong. SEO can work for you because it is a long haul, right?
Yeah,
but the way SEO would work for you, if you read an article, I mean, you probably remember the Walcom articles, right? You know, even then and I'd sit there all day and I'd write an article, it'd take me 3 hours. Now I write an article, it takes me 3 seconds. But if you wrote really long pieces of content in a Google ad, right? And, sorry, not a Google ad, a blog, and it had videos in it and it had testimonials in it and it had like facts in it and it had storytelling in it and it had everything you need in it, blah, 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 blah. You'd get people reading that article and it would lead to a sale. I guarantee it, right? But it's going to have to be really good. As opposed to, you can go to Google, you can go to Meta Ads and you can put a video that goes for like a minute and a half. And as long as you talk how you're talking to me right now in the video, why am I going so orange for? Hang on, give me a second. Let me fix something.
Sunset in Rumsley.
right, that might be better. No, it's Chris. I've got a light. Got a salt light from Chris, but I forgot to turn the light on, and the sun just went through. Anyway, you can probably see me better. Turn this one up there. Oh, it's not going to work. Technical difficulties. You're only going to see half my face. So anyway, it's not a good a face anyway. But it's an easy exercise for you to do this and pump out content like this. You know, you go get people who are your customers, content. You know, small budget behind all your ads, away you go.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing blogs, articles online, but it's more not so much a customer review type thing. It's technical. Why are we different? You know, what do we do different type things? And surprisingly, there's been, looking at the Google Search Console, there's been, I mean, it has been great, but there has been, average click-through percentage just under 1.9.
Yeah.
Based on a few of those, looking at, the actual blogs that are, from the SEO perspective. But yeah, I think most of my sales have come mainly from the meta ads.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. How much have you spent on meta ads so far?
Yeah, probably since March, I'd probably say maybe around the $1,500 mark. I'd have to look. I can't look, but yeah.
And what do you think you've got back from a sales perspective in spending that much money?
It's probably, I'm spending more on ads than I'm on sales, that's for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's not positive at the moment, is
No,
it?
definitely not. No.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. But the takeaway and the learning from tonight, we know why now, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know the 3 reasons why.
Yep.
Good.
Store strategy and store
strategy. Good. Anyone else have any questions about this so far? Does this make sense to everybody? Might go around the room. You can see get some nods. Like, Sonny's just fallen over, or he's turned the camera. It's one of the two. I could see. Olivia, does this make sense to you? What do we got? Makes perfect sense. Yep, cool. We've got Tegan. We've got Nick G, Bronson, Morris. Morris has got no. Is this we've done this for Morris? Nod. Yes. Cool. All right. Do we want to do this any more, Chris, or we'll move on from here and go back to the slides and so forth? What do you reckon?
Yeah, probably get to the slides and
yeah, cool.
I don't know. We've got many other stores.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try and do this. We'll see where I go with this tomorrow. So, turn this off for 1 second. Stop that sharing of screen. Now, before I get into this, there's a couple of people. So, Olivia, this is probably not relevant to you right now, other than the brand story. So you can just not watch this bit. Who else is on the call?
Sorry, I missed what you said there, Paul. Sorry.
So this bit's probably not relevant to you. I know, given we've already made your website. So this was probably more for Daniel, Tegan, Sunny, Ange as well. So Maurice, we've made a site for. So I will bring this slide up though. I just want people going, this doesn't make any sense to me. So let's get into it. Now, hopefully this has been helpful so far. Give us a nod or give me a thumbs up or something. If that has been helpful. Hopefully you can see that the principles that we use to do this for brands, like what Chris is doing, love hearts at me. There you go. If anyone else wants to give that a try, feel free to do something. So now you have 2 choices for those of you that are on the call. One, I like to call this guy Miserable Paul in the orange because he's sad, versus Happy Paul in the green. Number 1, Orange Paul. Just keep doing what you're doing all on your own, trying to figure it out, going to YouTube, listening to the gurus, listening to their stuff that hasn't worked ever and it's still not working now, but they spend a lot of money on ads trying to get people tucking in. And then option 2 is you can go on the proven path. So proven path is the path that we do this for all the brands that we do, the hundreds of brands that we're already working with. Now, I'm going to do this a bit differently tonight though, because I think what people on the call need is a different product altogether. So give me a second. I'm actually curious as well where Ange is at. So you're brand new, aren't you, Ange, with all of this? All right. And Danny needs a site. And Tegan, I'm not sure. What about you, Sonny? Have you got a website at the moment?
Yes. No, not up. I started. I'm sort of stuck.
Still sort of stuck. Okay. All right. So here's what I think you guys need off the back of tonight's call. So, as I said, I've spent way too long, like 25 years, figuring out how to make websites that actually convert well, right? And when I talk about that, I talk about there is your homepage, there is your product page, there is your collection page, there is your cart page, there is everything that you need, right? So, sure, you can go by a theme, you can enable your theme, you can turn it on and then go hope and pray that it works. Like, and I'll tell you right now, it never works. So, especially if you go by something like Dawn or Impulse or all the other rubbish that is the standard Shopify theme out there. So, we made this thing. So, this is what we call our $1 million framework. And we use this exact system when we are also building fully custom sites for people. So, for example, we have two ways that people can work with us. One is we do it all for you and you end up with a beautiful website like the Rover Pets website, like Olivia's going to get with her beautiful website, like I forget who else I use an example as well. But this version here gets you a site like that, but it's more of a DIY site, right? So we come along, we get access to your Shopify, we set it all up, we set up the site, we set up the framework, we install it all. You come along, all you have to do is pretty much pick some fonts, change some banners, go through Chris's brand messaging course, which we give you when you do this. So there's two ways that you can do that. One, we give you a brand messaging course, you go through that. It will take you probably 2-3 weeks and you can figure it out on your own. And we do have another option where we do it one-to-one, which I would highly recommend for most people. That takes 4 calls, 4 hours, costs a lot more money, but it ends up as a brilliant process. Now, you do that first. Second thing is you go through, you follow call it 2 hours of video training that shows you how to build your beautiful Shopify site, exactly like we demonstrate in here. Now, the other thing that we do as well is I know Daniel's already in the community. Angie, you in our Connect community at the moment, or Sunny or Tegan? Have you guys joined that? Okay. So this is good then. This is what you guys need. So you get that, you get access to Chris's course, you get access to a meta ads course, you get access to a branding course, you get access to our Connect community. So our Connect community, there's 250 brands in there at the moment. And you get to hang around people just like you who are also building their own version of their own Shopify site as well, right? So as you go through the process, if you get stuck or anything, we have a dedicated channel. You post in there and you're like, hey, I don't know how to change a button, or I don't know how to change a title, or I need some help, or I need someone to look at my stuff. Post in there. Our team will respond. All the other people will respond, and we'll get you unstuck. So you get all of that included in this as well for 8 weeks, right? So that's what you get for this offer. Now, this offer is $19.97. And as I said, you get everything I've said. And then at the end of the 8 weeks that you've been in the community, we will invite you to stay in the community. And it's just $97 a month. Why you would stay inside of the community is because we're doing about 8 calls a week now. So we do like a meta ads call, which Daniel went through this morning. We do a Google ads call. We do an email call. We do an SEO call that I host. And it's like always goes over time. I talk a lot, as you guys can see. Same with Chris's call, goes forever. But you guys go to the call and live, you go, great, I learned how to do SEO, really, really good. I go and learn how to do meta ads. I go and learn how to do email. I go and learn how to do everything else. And you're learning from highly experienced coaches that have built e-com businesses, worked in e-com businesses, currently servicing e-com businesses. So the stuff they teach you is working right now, right? And they're all like, there's no kids in there. They're all older people like me that are helping you build everything, right? So I think, so just looking around the room, I think this is exactly what everybody needs right now. And even if you don't have a site at the moment, the first thing that you're going to want to do is like go and get at least set up Shopify, get us to install this for you, start adding your products. Even if you don't have products, go find any products from anywhere, add them to your site. They're going to look good. They're going to present properly on your product page, your homepage, your collection page, and everything. So once you are ready to go, you just go, cool, publish, off we go. Because a lot of the time, people spend a lot of time, they find a product. And sometimes people find a winning product really quickly, right? You add it to your website and then you go, crap, now I've got to muck around with trying to make a website that works. And now I've got to muck around with trying to get a story that makes sense. And all what happens is because they never quite figure out the product bit and the story bit and the strategy bit, right? There's like, it's been at it for 3 years now and nothing's working. So that's why we made this thing. And it's also why we include the brand messaging course, so that inside, call it a week and a bit, maybe, I don't know, like 4 hours of your time, 6 hours of your time, you'll know how to talk about your brand at a very high level forever, right? You know how to do it in your ads. You know how to do it in your emails. You know how to tell other people to talk about your brand. And then when people land on your website, you'll be proud. People go, look at my beautiful website. And your mates will be like, did you do that yourself? And you're like, yeah, I did. Right? They'll think you had some secret source code or something that was handed to you. That's what this is, basically. Any questions about any of this so far from anybody? No.
Everyone's
Do you
too
wanna add
busy
anything to that,
clicking the
Chris?
buy button.
Oh, everyone's clicking the buy button. I'll just wait.
Everyone's too busy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sunny, you're unmuted. Do you want to? Did you have a question?
No, I'm good. No,
He's
I done
excited.
it. Yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah,
what, and I'll tell you what I'll do to make this like and such an irresistible offer. You'd feel like silly, like saying no to it. Is that if you buy this thing and at the end of, call it like the end of the 8 weeks, if for whatever reason you go and follow the instructions, you go set it up, you go do the brand course, you go to the calls and you go, this isn't for me, I'll give you your money back. That's how confident I am that this thing is exactly what all of you guys on the call need. All right. So, yeah, I can't get any more like, make it a safer decision for any of you guys. And I will say, we probably had, call it, how many people have gone through this now, Chris? Like 70 or I don't know, 60 or something,
30,
something.
7.
Yeah, there's a few
Tons.
people still going through it at the moment, but like it's, let me give you an example. So this lady, how old is Karen? I always feel funny.
25.
Karen's 25. You can watch the video, you'll see Karen. Here's Karen. So here's an example of what happened. She did this herself. Karen's the first person to tell you. She's like, I'm not a very technical person, but here's her beautiful website. She did the artwork. She did this stuff. She did this stuff. She did all this. She just put it in the right order, the order that we told her. All right. Here's her beautiful products. Here's Karen, lovely, nicest lady you'll ever meet. She's now got a high converting website. She's crushing it. So you guys can have again, you don't need to use the same fonts. You don't need to use the big purple colors. You can use whatever you want. But using our framework, you end up with a site like this in a couple of weeks. Do you have another one that we'll show, Chris? Hench is another one. I know we did a bit of custom work for her as well. Here's another lady. She come along. She sells soaps. She did this. Here's her H1. Here's her H2. Here's all the statements. Here's this. She come along and she did it herself. All right. This stuff is easy to do for anybody. All right. So it is. I'll say it's missing the finer details that make it even better again. Like Olivia's website, it will look up. Well, hers is not live yet, but once it's live, you'll be able to go, oh yeah, I can see why. There's a lot more designing things going on in it, and there's a lot more work that goes into it. But for the most part, like this is a good start for people. And again, that's why we do that. So I'm going to chuck the link in here. So here's the chat.
Chris dropped the link in already.
Oh, well, there you go. I'll do it again. Happy to hang around. Oh, what else do I want to mention is, you can even pay. I think there's like a payment plan. You pay it off with after like Afterpay or something, right? So, any questions or anything before we wrap up tonight, guys?
No.
Happy to field any of them. Any concerns? I'll ask one thing. Like, let's assume all of you purchase this. Like, and be honest with me. Like, what's the number one thing that you are afraid of like happening if you purchase this? Or Daniel or someone else? Let me know. I'm interested.
My thing's probably time in 2 months. Or 2 months you've got access to it. Whether you get it all done or if I'd have enough time to do it.
Yeah. If you don't though, you just stay in the community for so it's just at the end of the 2 month period, it's just $97 a month to stay in the community with the other 200 people in the community as long as you want. So if this takes you 6 months to build it, that's fine. Like you're in the community and you can be like, you know what? I'll dedicate 2 hours a week to this thing because I'm a mum and I've got kids and I've got a job and I've got commitments, and I'll be like, yeah, but I want to make this work. So when you find time in the middle of the night when everyone's finally asleep, you're like, I'll jump in, I'll ask questions, I'll get answers, the next day. I move forward a bit, cool, I'll keep going, I'll come back again. So there's no pressure that you have to finish this in 2 months or a week or anything. It can take you a year if you want. The whole thing
Oh,
is
okay,
that
okay.
it works around. I mean, I kind of just go for the 1997 or whatever the price is. I'm just like, we give you 2 months access free so that you can see how good our community is. And then at the end, you'll go, I want to stay anyway. Like, makes sense?
Yeah.
All right. Any other fears or concerns?
As I've chatted with you offline, my issue is not so much, what you're selling, but it's my website being in Odoo is tightly integrated with the back-end services that I've got. So, a new customer comes on, they have to sign up because we need the details to create the back-end account for their tracking platform. And then the ongoing subscription. So I'm not even sure whether I'm assuming Shopify can do subscriptions as well, because there's a subscription portion to it, like most people have with a mobile phone, right? Almost the same kind of thing. So that's more the issues I've got. Is
we looked at that the other day, though, didn't we? And there's APIs and stuff that you can use.
There are APIs, but just digging into them, and it seems like I'd have to create my own middleware type integration for it to work, which is more time from my point of view rather than the shopfront point of view to make it work.
Yeah. Surely with something like bolt.new, you could knock up that middleware integration in like an afternoon, given.
Quite possible, possible, but it's just making sure it all works.
Yeah. Seems like a good problem to solve. So, especially when you go, here's the current, what did you make the current middleware?
It's actually Python code within Odoo.
Yeah. Got it. Well, there you go. You just go like port it to over there and go, make this work in Shopify, and whatever else the middleware needs to be, I'll be back later and it'll finish for you. So that's an easy problem.
Sometimes I wish that the AI worked like that, but in practice, it hasn't always been like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll make it work.
We'll continue this chat.
Yeah. Any questions, Tegan, from yourself or Sonny? No. Is Bronson on the call? Bronson from You're in the Community is as well. So yeah. So I mean, totally up to you if you want to say anything. But like, how have you found the converter kit for your site? Like, this is not organized, by the way. So we just get people who like hanging out with us that are good people, and they come along and I'll put them on the spot and go, it's worked. Hopefully, it says it's worked good.
Yeah. So
what's his site?
So basically, I've finished my 8 weeks of just learning how everything kind of meshes together and whatnot. Now I'm just trying to finish a few things off before I book a call with Paul and everyone to just trying to tidy things up, I guess. But so far so good.
What's your site again, mate?
houseofhoon.com.au.
That's the one, House of Hoon.
Custom AI backgrounds and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. All right. So again, like Bronson is, he did this himself. Like most of it. We helped him with some fonts and stuff and some banners, but like, I'm not taking any credit for this. He did all this. He did all the words. He did all the colors. He did all his products. Like, it's a bloody good looking website now, like bestsellers in there and all this kind of thing. And his product pages look good. And again, like, the thing you need to think about anyway, like with the website, it's not a one and done thing. Like, you're going to be working on it forever. So you may as well be working on a website that is actually built to convert properly and the basics are done right from the start, rather than like, in the future going, still not working. So, but I mean, he's got everything in the, there's little things that we can fix and we'll fix them together over time. But like, you can see for yourself, like, this is a great looking website. Other people in the market, if they sold him this website, probably be paying 10 grand to go, we'll make your website, but he's done it. So, on that note, I reckon we can probably wrap. If anyone is Hoon and wants to make their car go faster, Bronson, you go, obviously. But thanks for hanging out with us. We do this every Wednesday. Feel free to come back next week. But in the meantime, click the buy button. We'll see you in the community. And yeah, take care. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Cheers.